Uh-oh. We're not allowed to play the music, Paisley. Remember that. I like to listen to music before we play. We're not. So I will stop that. Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Michelle's here. It's Friday night. We have stuff to do. No music. None, Paisley. Don't enjoy yourself. I hope everybody's doing well today. It is Friday. Uh, I was just realizing it's 10 days after, almost 10 days after Valentine's Day. We can all sort of admit to ourselves where we were on Valentine's Day now. Brian and Kimmy are here, happily in love, rubbing it in. Just kidding, guys. Seriously glad to see you. I've had a very busy day in multiple different ways and an emotionally exhausting day in other ways. So, yeah, that's that. I don't know what else to say about it. It's Kimmy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Kimmy. Ask Kimmy if she wants me to sing for her. If she wants me to sing, I will. If she doesn't, I won't. I know some people don't like it. Let me know. You were here on Valentine's Day, but I'm just remembering, like, this happens in between Valentine's Day and my birthday, which is March 25th, where there's a bit of loneliness that settles in, where you're like, oh, this is where I had a few years where I had a lot of love during that time. Oh, you like the sexy librarian look? I was oscillating between this choker and then I have a red one as well. I couldn't decide. I couldn't decide. Hi, Jonathan. Cole's here. Oh gosh, you guys. Welcome, Majestic Detail. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are well today. Um, like I said, I don't even know what I said, so you probably do. I don't. You remember that. I'll go for the way that I always do, which is pretending like I know what's going on and then going forward. Okay, so oh yeah, I downloaded a lot of court today and I need to finish this energy drink and really perk myself up. I'm at a like 3 right now. I need to be at a 7. I'm at a 3. I need to be at a 7. Will you do it for me, little Red Bull? Will you do it for me? Will you do it for me? She said, please. She would like me to sing. Okay. Give me a minute to rectify my voice, and then I will sing, and then we will see. Other people are talking in this house. Jesus fucking Christ. Do they not know what I'm fucking important? I'm just joking. Anyways, what are we watching? We are watching some raw dog footage from a court in Texas. I don't know what it's about, so we'll figure it out together. I'll try and fix my cleavage here, fix my voice, prepare for my performance tonight, my happy birthday performance.
Family law.
Hold on, family law judge. He looks so majestic. I just couldn't resist. Y'all know? Y'all know? Jim. Ooh, I clicked the wrong button. To click that button. Let me just smoke a little bit of weed. drink a little bit of Red Bull. Then we're gonna say happy birthday to Kimmy. What birthday is it, if you don't mind me asking, Brian and Kimmy? I would love to. No. Hi, Bob, Doggy Dab, Lady in Red, except that this is not red, and we can tell that based upon the red of my bra strap versus the orange of this shirt. 48, love it. I'm turning 36 next month. Well, at least that's what I'm told. I don't know if I believe it yet. I don't believe it yet, but we'll see. Anyways, let's see what these guys have to say. Let me get ready, and then I will sing for Kimmy.
Docket this morning. We have two or three dockets in a row. This is the 9 o'clock docket. I'm going to call the cases. I do want to remind counsel, please keep your cameras off and your microphones muted until I call a case for which you are counsel of record. At that time, activate your camera, unmute your microphone, and make your announcement. The first three cases on the docket have been passed. That is Petrosky, Ray, and Griffin Tice. Those three cases have been passed by agreement. Just to point out, the 23187 Griffin and Tice case will be reset for a post-mediation status once again in March. Okay, 23257, the Reese matter, both of them are in the waiting room, so I'm admitting them at this time.
Okay, first of all, is that a Stanley mug? Let's suss that out together. Oh, fucking fuck, folks. Hold on. Hold on. I just dropped the joint. I'm gonna sing happy birthday to Kimmy. Hi, Courtney. Apologies if you guys are here. You hate singing, you hate happiness, you hate any of that. That's what's gonna happen. It is for Kimmy's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kimmy. Via Brian and Kimmy. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Done. Okay. Uh, I like happiness, I swear too, but I also like chaos a lot. So much chaos. Um, let's continue. What is the judge drinking from? I'm drinking from a Red Bull can. What are you drinking from? That's another great question that we'll ask tonight. If you're new here, we like to hang out. This is a slow process. This is a slow process. Oh, if I sing it, I say process. This is a slow process. Um, yeah, let's see. Yeti, as always. You think it's Yeti? I love my Bubba mug. Hashtag not a sponsor yet, but could be one day. Call me. Or my people. I don't have people. Call me. Um, process. Also, I heard a conversation in my living room today where somebody said the underground parkade got flooded. And I said, do you know that people think we are weird for saying parkade? Anyways, they did not, but now I laugh about it. Anyways, if you're just getting here, go ahead, hit that like button. Even if you don't have a Stanley or a Yeti cup, or if you don't like me, or if you don't like the judge, for whatever reason you don't want to hit the like button, that's actually, in fact, the reason you should hit the like button. Just like in court, if you don't render your objection, you can't come and pull it up later. So if you're pissed off about this video now, you need to like it and then submit your written complaint, which will be responded to within 2 to 3 weeks. But that's how we do. Also, you like these glasses? These glasses are from the dollar store, and they do not have lenses in them because you ask kids to share their BJ stories, Sashina. I don't know how what other word BJ would stand for, but I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, don't do that. It's gonna get the kids talking. It's gonna get the kids talking. Okay. Uh, I don't like to, intrude on other people's jobs, even though I've had a million of them. And people used to tell me, you'd be a great teacher. In fact, people said, oh, it was what you think? That's weird. That's even weirder. She wasn't like, I was talking about Blossom Journeys. Everybody is on their own Blossom Journey principle. Okay? I wanted them to draw the blossoms throughout the ages of their life. I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm a lesbian. What is a BJ? That's what I would have gone with.
Mr. Ponton and Mr. Rodriguez. Raphael, that is. Mr. Ponton, I don't hear you. You're not muted.
I'm here, Your Honor. Can you hear me? I'm Rod Ponton for the respondent and the
Thank you.
movement today.
I do not see Mr. Rodriguez. Did y'all have an agreement that he was not going to appear?
No, Your Honor. And I haven't talked to him, but I anticipated he would be here.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Sir, you are not there. You have a no camera available signal. Baird boys, welcome. Also, what did you just walk into? We were just walking into weirdness as usual, and I don't know what's going to go on. Oh my God. Also, if anybody is interested, does anybody here live in Alaska? I'd like to hear about it. If you don't live in Alaska, oh, thanks, Erica. And if you don't live in Alaska, but you live in the Estados Unidos, the province that I live in is bigger than your state. I just learned that today. I learned today, you guys. I learned.
Trying
Is that
to,
Mr. Reese?
That's
yes, sir, it is.
That's Mr. Reese, my client.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reese. You can just hang tight for a minute. And I see you're working on your camera problems. It said that you don't have a camera installed, is what it's telling me there. Not sure why. All right, Mr. Pond, why don't you give me a status on where this case sits? We're here for status today.
Yes, Your Honor. This case was originally filed pro se back in October. The parties entered into a separation divorce agreement without benefit of counsel. My client subsequently retained me. We filed a counter petition, and in my counter petition, we've asked that the separation and divorce agreement be dissolved because he entered into it without benefit of counsel. And so that's where we are today. That would be what I would seek to have occur today, to go back into regular standard temporary orders. There's one child involved. Both parties live and work in Alpine. My client is a Border Patrol agent, and the wife, I think, works for the city of Alpine. One child, 10, I think.
Is there a motion in place seeking some kind of hearing of?
In my counter petition for divorce,
Yeah.
I requested that the temporary, in my temporary orders request, in my motion, I requested that the matter be dissolved. There's no separate motion seeking hearing.
Okay, but your petition includes a request for setting on temporary orders.
Yes.
Have you reached out to Ms. Olguin to try to schedule a time, give her a time estimate, all of that?
I have not, Your Honor. I'm happy to do that if you'd rather have that set for a special setting.
What's in Tampa, Courtney? Ugh, why are you ughing? What's in Tampa? Tell me. I want to be in Tampa. These are $1.25 Canadian. I can send you all these glasses if you want. This is why I laugh when people pay thousands of dollars for glasses. Also reminder, I don't need glasses. That these have no lenses in them because I find that fucking weird. No, I like Tampa. I thought you were I was commiserating. I thought you were like hating on Tampa. I was like, all right, we hating on Tampa today. What's going on? What's going on in Tampa? Anything good? Um, to be fair, I don't see as many Tampa body cam videos. I watch a lot of those. A lot of those down in the Keys. I will say that. But I would prefer to be in Estados Unidos today because I'll tell you why. Even though I have the heat cranked in here to pretend like I live in a tropical fucking climate, and I fucking don't. Um, it is today. Hold on. It is currently 46 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't like it. I want to be warm. In fact, I want to be hot. Hotter. You know what I mean.
Happy to do that.
I think it will definitely need a special setting if there's going to be legal argument about withdrawal of consent and that sort of thing. I want to make sure that y'all have the time to present whatever law to me you wish. And then if I agree, we have to have time for all the evidence on temporary orders. So,
All right, I'll get with your court coordinator and seek a setting, and I'll try to get it done sooner rather than later.
I think maybe the best thing would be to go ahead and mediate now, because if they've got an agreement, even if that agreement has been rescinded by one of the parties, it tells me that there is obviously room for discussion and agreement somehow, or they wouldn't have done what they did. It might be a good idea to save that cost, use that money to get mediation done, and then if that fails, just have trial.
The well, I would agree with much of what Your Honor just said, but for the fact that I can't say how long it would take to go to trial if things fell apart. So if it took a while to get to trial, I'd rather have different temporary orders in place, I guess would be my response.
I think for a bench hearing, it would not. What I would do is set it today, give you a mediation deadline and set a trial date. So you'll know exactly when it's going to be. Is there a contested custody issue here?
That's going to be another issue, yes. There will be a contested custody issue. It's not in the current pleadings, but there will be.
So they're disputing primary residence?
They're disputing my client wishes to change the status and he intends to seek primary. He has not filed that motion yet.
All right. You might want to get that done pretty quick because that changes the posture, obviously, for the other side. Okay. Well, let's do a quick mediation and see if they can't reach an agreement on this stuff. I have faith in y'all that if there's any way to do it, I know that the two of you can help that happen. And then, Ms. Olguin, when do we have a half day, roughly 45 days from now, that we could give them for a temporary orders hearing?
Looking, Judge.
Let's see. Here's today. So we're looking. Oh, sure. What about that's a travel day.
Love, hate travel days. Who's with me? I love, hate travel days. I just do. It's like a love, hate thing. I fucking love to be traveling, but I hate to do it. But I love to do it, and I always will if I can. So, whatever,
The 17th of April.
Oh, I'm looking sooner than that. I was looking at March the 2nd. What is that trial? How long did they announce? Full day?
March the 2nd is fucking a Saturday, Judge. Isn't March the 2nd a Saturday? I'm pretty sure it is.
March the 2nd's a Saturday, Judge. What day?
April the 2nd?
Oh, April.
I'm sorry. I'm on the March calendar, but it's April at the bottom.
They announced a full day, and it's in person in Van Horn.
Okay. How long do you need for temporary orders if I take evidence?
I think it can be done in less than 2 hours.
I could give you 2:30 on April the 9th. So that would give you 2.5 hours. Does that work for you?
It works for me, Judge.
All right.
Judge, what was that date? I'm sorry,
It was fucking April 2nd, girl. Get the fuck with it.
I stepped out of the room for a second.
April 9 at 2:30. Do you think, Lori, I don't know how long that docket is. Do you think we could do 2 o'clock? Or do you think 2:30 is safer?
I thought it was April 2nd. Is it April 9th? Fucking get it together, Paisley. God damn it.
I think 2:30 is safer, Judge. Presidio Civil's
All right.
too long.
All right. So we'll go 2:30 on April the 9th for the motion to disregard the agreement and motion for temporary orders, counter motion for temporary orders.
That's correct.
If you'll put that into an order setting hearing, do you want that to be remote or in person?
Well, I prefer it to be in person, but it's up to the court.
If it was in person, I might have to start later. That's what worries me because I've got a docket in Marfa that is looking like it's going to be remote from 1:30 to 2:30.
We can do it by Zoom, Judge.
I'm happy to do it either way. It just means we would probably start closer to 3 o'clock.
Let's go ahead and do it by Zoom.
Well, if you change your mind, let me know, and we can also find a different day if we need to. It would be the next week if we did that. It would probably be the afternoon of the 16th in person. Would you rather do that? I could give you 1:30 to 5.
No, I'd rather try to get it earlier if possible.
But those are the options. You can do it in person on the 16th and have half a day. We can do it Zoom on the 9th and have 2.5 hours. So for now, Lori, why don't we use our own form for order setting hearing, given that it's going to be a Zoom proceeding? And we'll set it for 2:30 on the 9th. All right.
And I'll arrange for mediation, but prior to that date.
That works. So I am hereby ordering that mediation be completed no later than April the 8th. And either hearing on
How was yellow, Courtney? Tell me about the yellow Red Bull. I looked at the yellow Red Bull. Did they have orange where you went? Because this orange Red Bull. Orange Red Bull is delightful. I'm addicted. I have an addiction. I have a problem. I've had worse. Way worse. But they're not cheap. I'll tell you that. I will tell you fucking that. But 7-Eleven here, at least in Canada, has these 3 for $7. 3 for $7, which I've definitely never bought and fucking consumed. Yeah, but 3 for $7 is like basically one Starbucks order in a day, in my mind. I don't go to Starbucks ever anymore. I don't even go for coffee anymore. I make my own coffee at home. It's my only, well, not my only, but
Those two motions on the 9th, or approve up if y'all have worked it out. All right. If you settle it at mediation, but you're not going to have the decree ready, notify Lori and we'll cancel that setting.
7 Canadian. I live in Canada. I pay in Canadian. Although I get paid in US dollars, which I love. Thank you, YouTube Daddy. Um, and thank you, kind gifters. But yeah, $7 Canadian with the tax and sort of like fees, like the recycling fees, it turns into about $8.50. But I've priced them out. At Walmart, they're 2 for $5 plus the recycling fees and tax. And the 4-pack is like not, it's like $9 for the 4-pack, but it's not there. You can't get them. I can't find it. So it's the 3-pack seems to, or the 3 of them for $7 seems to be the better deal. And we have GST, which is government sales tax. Then we have PST, which is provincial sales tax. And we also had a brief period of when we had a harmonized sales tax, an HST, but they literally repealed that where I live. It was a very interesting political thing. But anyways, so here you have to add quite a bit into your mind when you're purchasing something because you're like, oh, plus tax. But yeah, I think it's like 15% altogether. Might be 12. Actually, it's 12. I'm pretty sure it's 12%. PST and GST. But you don't pay PST on certain things. Like you can say at Walmart when you're buying stuff, oh, this is PST exempt. And they'll come over and give you a really weird look and be huffing and puffing about it. But then finally, some lady will know and she'll come over and she'll type it in. And like when you buy school supplies, those are tax exempt. You don't have to pay taxes on school supplies.
Give it to somebody else. All right, that's what we'll do. Thank you very much. So ordered.
Thank you, Judge.
I will see all of you on April the 9th, and good luck with your mediation. I hope y'all manage to work it out in the best interest of the kiddos. All right, we're off the record on that case. The Reeses are excused. Next up, let's see. We're going to have to skip over the Hernandez matter for a few minutes while we're waiting for the interpreter to arrive at 9:20. We will note that 23264 has been passed by agreement. That brings us to 23261, Ol Ramirez and Gonzalez Ramirez, and in the interest of their children. Is there anyone here on 23261? Austin Rawls. Zolgin, have you heard from anyone on that case?
I don't believe so, Judge, no.
Was this set for DWAP or was this their first failure to appear?
I just have it set for a status. The case was filed in October. That's probably why I set it for a status today. It's probably their initial hearing.
Right. Where is UCNS? I'm pulling it up to find out. To dismiss for one of prosecution.
I
Good
have
morning.
Marcelino Hernandez here, Your Honor. He's in my office with me.
Good morning, Mr. Hernandez.
Good morning, sir. Okay.
All right. Mr. Montemayor, let me place you under oath. Do you solemnly swear that you will truly and accurately translate the proceedings of the court from Spanish to English and English to Spanish?
I do so swear.
Would you identify yourself for the record, please?
Victor Montemayor, license is 1659.
All right. We're going to use the interpretation feature. We're going to see if we can get it right the first time. What that means is, in just a moment, I'm going to turn on the interpretation device. When I do, each person will have to select their language of choice. So, Ms. Wilson, that means you will click the globe in a moment, and you will select English. I will do the same. And Ms. Hernandez.
En la parte de abajo.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Cellulite Yoga Pants. I didn't realize that would. I don't know. I don't set the ads. They don't give you the choice of skippable versus non-skippable. As far as I'm aware. And so I apologize for that. I was hoping you were going to say it was for something related to what we talk about all the time, like I don't know, a divorce attorney or something, you know.
Abajo. Corre el menú hasta
Or a Spanish language learning program. That's actually what I was thinking first.
el lado derecho, donde termina. Va a haber ahí una opción de 3 puntos. Va a tocar los 3 puntos y la primera o segunda opción, dependiendo del modelo de teléfono, va a aparecer un globo terráqueo, que es el módulo de interpretación. Va a seleccionar el módulo de interpretación, va a seleccionar el idioma español, asegurarse que aparezca la señal de la palomita de color azul, perdón, y va a seleccionar donde dice aceptar en la parte de arriba a la derecha o done. ¿Sí ha entendido esto?
Okay. Sí.
Okay. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. I am now in the designated channel for English. Ms. Wilson, can you hear me and respond, please?
I can hear you, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Montemayor, would you confirm that Ms. Hernandez is in Spanish?
Okay.
So fucking close. This is how it's supposed to work, people. We never see it properly used like this, but this is what simultaneous translation is actually about. If only Mr. Interpreter could fucking just switch channels for a minute. That's all he has to do. Switch channels. Well, he should have a better way to do that because he's gonna have to switch channels. Anyways, but this is how Zoom interpretation is meant to work. I know people have said, oh, well, they need it for the record. They really don't. That's not how it works. Somebody who is taking down a court record wouldn't be expected to take down word for word in another language what they're saying. So in reality, the interpretation is not the same in that sense. Like it's not part of the record.
Mm. Okay, I try, pero es español. Mm.
All right.
No sé si está funcionando. Sí, yo puedo escucharlo.
All
En
right,
la
she's
pantalla
working in the Spanish channel now?
bueno, sí, le puse español, es lo único que puse ahí, español. Sí.
Uh-oh.
Now the judge can't hear the interpreter. Ah, fuck. Zoom should have done better here. We are, Hector, but I don't think the judge is hearing it either. At first I thought, oh, we're just out of the loop, like the Zoom loop, but I don't know here.
Okay. All right, let's go on the record. This is cause. Oh, I see. Is that better, Ms. Olin? Thank you for that. I did not have my self video on, so I had no idea where my head was. And of course, I guess if I asked that to Ms. Wilson, she would probably have a different response to the question about I don't know where the judge's head is, right? All right, so let's go back on the record. This is cause FMB 23199. This is in the matter of the marriage of Zorada Hernandez and Marcelino Hernandez. First, let's have announcements of counsel to give me the lay of the land, please.
Your Honor, Sandy Wilson for the respondent, Marcelino Hernandez. And I have been, Ms. Hernandez, Zoraida Hernandez is pro se, to my knowledge. We've been communicating and we worked out an agreed final decree that everybody has signed, and you should have a copy of.
All right, so I will place both of the parties under oath. So I'm going to ask the two of you to please raise your right hands and hold them up where I can see them. Do each of you solemnly swear that the testimony you'll give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Ms. Hernandez?
Sí. Sí.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
KCC, yes, I also do. Thank you, Judge. I really like being included.
Lower your hands, please. Now, Ms. Wilson, given that Ms. Hernandez is self-represented, I'm going to allow you to assist in proving up the decree. I want to ask you to call the petitioner first, since she is the petitioner. So, Ms. Hernandez, you're going to testify first. Ms. Wilson is going to ask you some questions. Go ahead, Ms. Wilson.
Ms. Hernandez, can you state your full name for the record, please?
Zoraida Hernández Limón.
And you're married to Marcelino Hernandez, is that correct?
Correcto.
Okay. And you filed for divorce in the 394th Judicial District here in Alpine, Brewster County, Texas, on or about April 26th of last year. Is that correct?
Correcto.
Okay. And you're asking the court today for a divorce. Is that correct?
Sí, correcto.
Okay, so luckily for us, all of her stuff I'm able to translate ahead of time. Sí, correcto means yes, correct.
Now, Ms. Hernandez, prior to filing this divorce on April 26th of 23, had you lived in the state of Texas for 6 months?
Sí.
And had you lived in Brewster County for at least 90 days?
Sí.
Okay. And you two were married on or about October 2nd of 2002 and separated around March 6th of 2022. Does that sound correct?
Correcto.
And the marriage has become insupportable. In other words, you two just no longer get along and want to live together. Is that correct?
Es correcto.
Now, Ms. Hernandez, during this marriage, there were 4 children born during the marriage. Is that correct?
Sí, tengo 4 niños. Uno no es de él, pero sí tengo 4 niños.
Okay. And that child that the child that is not his is Ariel Hernandez. Is that correct?
Correcto.
And I'm sorry, I forget about the interpreter. And you had already adjudicated a father on that child in another cause in this court, right?
Sí, correcto.
Okay. All right. Now, as far as the other three children of the divorce of the marriage, you two have agreed that you're going to both be joint managing conservators of the three other children. Is that your understanding?
Sí, vamos a ser tutores y guardianes ahí, pero solo que a Marcelino creo que no le interesa. Entonces, yo soy la responsable de ellos. Yo soy quien los tengo, yo soy quien los cuido. Yo los tengo todo el mes conmigo.
Okay.
In fact, Chris, I did. Thank you so much for the PP present. I love it. $10 in the PP. You're the best.
And that comes to my next question to you. You're going to be the parent that gets to determine where the children live. Is that correct? They're going to live with you.
Correcto.
Okay. And Mr. Hernandez is gonna be ordered to pay child support for the three children. Is that correct?
Correcto.
And what kind of insurance do you have the kids on right now, Ms. Hernandez?
En este momento tenían Medicaid, pero se les acabó la cobertura y no lo he renovado, pero tenían Medicaid.
Okay, so you two are going to work together to get insurance on the children. Is that correct?
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'll address that in a minute with my client. Now, child support on the children is going to begin March 1st of 2024. Is that your understanding?
Correcto.
And as far as visitation goes, you two kind of have an agreement now that's been working, I guess, for both of y'all as far as visitation of the children. And if for some reason that falls apart, then you understand you're going to do the standard possession order that's put in the divorce decree. Is that your understanding?
Ok, correcto, pero no estoy de acuerdo con... ok, solo uno de mis niños lo visita, solo uno de mis niños lo ve, entonces yo estoy bien hasta ahí.
Okay. All right. So whatever the agreement is, if it falls through, then what we put in the divorce decree that you reviewed is what you're going to go with. Is that correct?
No estoy de acuerdo, porque yo le había dicho a la abogada que desde un principio que yo no quería que Marcelino tuviera derechos sobre mi niño, sobre Ángel.
You understand that he has rights to his children. Whether or not he goes to see them, he still has rights to them. You understand that, correct?
Sí comprendo eso, pero ella también comprende que él no se hizo cargo desde que yo salí embarazada, que desde que yo salí embarazada, él lo único que me dijo fue felicidades y se fue. Eso fue, ella también comprende eso, ¿verdad?
Okay, so the standard possession order that we have put in your divorce decree now that you signed, are you gonna agree to that?
Okay.
And once you guys get insurance, then you two would be responsible for 50% of whatever the cost is that's not on the insurance policy. For whatever insurance doesn't cover, you two are going to agree to split that cost 50-50. Is that correct?
Ok, es correcto, pero también le dije yo a ella que yo no tengo trabajo, que yo no estoy trabajando, tengo un trabajo, pero no más es cuando me hablan, no tengo un trabajo fijo. Y cuando yo le dije eso a ella me dijo que Marcelino ya no ganaba lo que ganaba, que ella ganaba menos.
Okay, but if Mr. Hernandez agrees to get insurance on the children, which that's what he's going to testify to, and whatever say the copay is $20, you would be responsible for $10. He'd be responsible for $10. Would you agree to that as far as the extra off the insurance?
Ok, sí,
Now, Ms. Hernandez, do you believe that the orders regarding the children are in their best interest?
creo que sí, porque ya firmé todo el contrato, sí.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna talk to you a minute about your the property that was earned or whatever during the marriage. Okay. You are going to be awarded the residence that you and the children are living in right now. Is that your understanding?
Sí, correcto.
You're going to be awarded all furnishings, fixtures, anything you have in that residence is going to be yours after today. Is that your understanding?
Correcto.
And any money you might have in any joint or any accounts, checking, savings, retirements, all of that's in your name is going to be given to you completely today and Mr. Hernandez can't get any of that. Is that your understanding?
Correcto.
And you're also going to be awarded 3 vehicles from the marriage. A 2020 Ford F-150, a 2023 Ford Escape, and a 2001 Ford Mustang. Is that your understanding?
An 01 Mustang. That would be nice. Never mind. The 2024 is good too.
Correcto.
And Mr. Hernandez is going to be awarded what other household furnishings, fixtures, whatever personal objects are in his sole control and with him right now. Is that your understanding?
Que tenga su poder, sí, correcto.
And then any checking accounts or savings account he has in his name, he will keep the money in there. Is that your understanding as well?
Correcto.
And he's going to keep 3 vehicles from the marriage as well. 2022 Ford F-250 vehicle, a 2017 Ford F-250, and a 1994 F-150 motor vehicle. Is that correct?
Correcto.
And any debt you two have incurred during this time of separation, you're going to each pay for your own debt. Is that your understanding?
Correcto.
Okay. Do you feel like that that is a just and proper division of the marital property?
Sí.
Okay. Now, also, Ms. Hernandez, you wanted to change your name back from the name you have now back to your, I believe that's your birth name. Is that correct?
Correcto.
So you want to change from I'm sorry again. You want to change from Zoraida Hernandez to Zoraida Limon. Is that correct?
Correcto.
That sounds like a drink, doesn't it? Zoraida Limon. Can I get a Zoraida Limon? I'm gonna actually, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go get myself a Zoraida Limon right now. Hector, I do answer to the name. I'm confirming. I don't know yet. I'm making sure. Mikey's a big star. He has people. Guys in the truck.
And finally, at the on page, the very back page of this divorce decree on page 33, is that your signature above your name, Zoraida Hernandez?
I am contacting his
Sí, yo la
agent.
puse.
Ma'am, I'm talking. I'm contacting his agent. They're saying, ma'am, stop texting us. You need to stop. You need to stop, ma'am.
And are you asking the court today for a divorce?
Sí.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
I have no questions for Ms. Hernandez. You may call your client.
Okay. I'd like to call Marcelino Hernandez. Can
All
you
right,
state?
Mr. Hernandez, go ahead.
Go ahead. Can you state your full name for the record? Marcelino Hernandez. Now, Mr. Hernandez, you heard all of the answers that Ms. Hernandez answered to all the questions that I asked. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If I asked you those same questions, would you have pretty much the same answers as she did?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that the orders pertaining to the children are in their best interest?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe that the orders pertaining to the property division of the marriage is fair and equitable?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And are you asking on the very last page, page 33, is that your signature on that page?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And are you asking the court to grant your divorce today?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Oh my god, I thought he was wearing a sleeveless shirt for a second. Like me. Inappropriate for court, Paisley. Go get your fucking Zoraida Limon. I will, thank you, Paisley.
All right. Do you have any questions for him, Ms. Hernandez? I've heard what I need to hear.
Yo no tengo preguntas. No, yo no tengo preguntas.
All right. I'm going to make my announcement at this time. Court finds it as venue and jurisdiction in this case. I find there is no reasonable expectation of reconciliation, and so I hereby grant your divorce. I find there are 3 children
Boom! Divorced!
subject to the jurisdiction of the court. I find that the provisions in the agreed decree as to conservatorship, possession, access, and support of the children are in their best interest. And so I accept the agreement and I will adopt that as the order of the court. I find that the division of the marital estate, as laid out in the proposed decree, is a just and right division. And so I will adopt that as the order of the court as well. I will grant the requested name change by the petitioner from Zoraida Hernandez to Zoraida Limon. And with that, I am signing the decree at this time as presented, and it will be e-filed momentarily, dissolving the marriage. All right. Good luck to each of you. I hope you take care. This case is resolved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. The 2 of you are free to exit if that's all you've got. And we are.
Is that all you got? The judge says. Is that all you got? Oh my god. Yeah, that's all I got, fucking judge. That's all I got right now. Because I'm having a hard day. That's all I got.
Off the record on that case.
Okay.
Gracias.
I believe that's the only Spanish case we have. So let me just ask the room. Is there anyone here who's going to need the court's Spanish language interpreter? Is there anyone else here who needs the court's?
No, we just don't need them, Judge. No.
Spanish language interpreter for the 9 o'clock docket. Is there a lawyer for Mr. Maldonado? That's 10 o'clock, right? Okay. We have you scheduled for 10 o'clock as well?
Let me double check, Your Honor. I believe that I may be otherwise engaged. Yes, I am not going to be able to assist you, but I believe that it will probably be Mr. Vargas.
Thanks, Chris Engelby. Appreciate you. Always, 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 always have fun on your Friday night.
The one that's going to be taking over.
Perfect. All right. I think you are excused. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Just to confirm the case number for this marriage of Hernandez, it's FMB 23199, correct?
You got it.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Always a pleasure to see you.
See you soon.
Bye.
Okay. Let's move on to page 2, and we have FMB 23230 in the matter of the marriage of Laney. Mr. Haygood, Mr. Clark.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, everyone. All right. Just so you know, Mr. Haygood, I just saw your motion for continuance 10 minutes before docket and asked Lori to send an email or call or something to see whether you were going to be able to make it. I wasn't ignoring it. I didn't know it existed until it hit my UCMS this morning. So thank you for joining us. I know you have a busy morning. I note there's a motion to quash. There was a motion to compel. I can't tell if that was withdrawn. So, Mr. Clark, these are your motions. Tell me what motions are currently pending right now.
Judge, the motions that are currently pending is our motion to compel discovery, because at the time we filed it, we got absolutely zero responses, and the discovery from Mr. Haygood was long overdue. I've now gotten some, how shall I put it, half-hearted responses. But anyway, we still are going to need more documentation. The second motion is a motion to compel the payment of interim attorney's fees. Your Honor ordered Mr. Laney to pay $5,000 to our office, gave a schedule for him to pay it. He has made absolutely zero payments on it. And even though Mr. Laney doesn't have the money to pay interim attorney's fees or anything, they noticed a deposition of my client, and it's on a day that I'm out of town, so we filed a motion to quash on that. But it's curious to me, if Mr. Laney is so broke, how you can afford to start taking depositions.
He just called it broke. He didn't even say it in so many words. He literally said broke. We don't often hear broke in court. We often hear indigent, financially indigent. I mean, what else do we hear? Mikey, hi. Hope you're doing well. Cole, sorry that you're feeling bad. We're sending good vibes. Sent them through the computer. I'm really good at that. Don't worry. You should feel better soon. Hopefully. Milky, yes. Milky's here. Oh, the celebrity has arrived. You see how he walks in? He says, hello, hello, everyone, encapsulating everybody. Anyways, I don't know. Again, I don't do research. If you want a polished and really like professional looking show, you're gonna visit Credence and Mikey, because that's what you get over there. If you want to not know what's going to happen next and be surprised always, you can hang out here, because that's probably going to happen. Actually, you can do both, though, because we don't often go on at the same time. And he's a friend of the channel. Also, though, Mikey, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I need to be your West Coast correspondent for chases. They are all happening late at night. I think it's a good idea. I just need you to teach me the ropes a little bit. I'm used to working with a one-woman show over here, and me and Streamlabs together. You obviously have a full truck of men, hanging out at your house, helping you, if we're to understand it correctly. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. So, confirmed, Mikey will be on the show tomorrow. It will be a different show, but it will be Mikey on the show. So, did we set the time at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. East Coast time? You'll have eaten. What did you have for dinner tonight? See, I'm always talking about dinner. I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I really am interested because I like talking about people's food. I love learning about culture via food. And, oh, oh no. See, I can't wear glasses. I'm faking it and it shows. Google app, no skip cellulite yoga pants. Holy shit. Have I made it? They're giving me skipless ads. Anyways, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Mikey will be on the channel. And also, we have a lot to talk about. We both have birthdays in March. I'd like to talk about that. We have some dinner to talk about. We have a few other things that we need to talk about. So it is going to be a great, great evening. Mark your calendars. All your ads have been no skip today. That's fucking weird. I hope I get paid really good today, Cellulite. Okay. Like maybe like 47 cents? Holy shit. I would be so lucky if I made 40 cents. Anywho, like I said, they are no skip and they run 2 ads in a row. You guys, we'll talk about the ads. We'll set them up together maybe one day during members only, and we can talk about how I don't have a choice. Like, do you think if I had the ability to like place unskip like all these different things, I would? I don't. I don't. I know, Hector, but when you only do live broadcasts, you sort of have to monetize what you got. All I got's my tatas and my fucking constant spewing of talking.
Now, so those are the 3 motions that we have set. We've tried to set them 3 or 4 times. Lori was nice enough to set them for this morning, and then I got late Friday night, I think it was, a motion for continuance from Mr. Haygood that he was once again in another trial.
Well, he's here now. So, Mr. Haygood, let's address the fees motion first. As I understand it, I must have previously ordered on a compel attorney's fees in the amount he's saying $5,000. Is that an accurate statement of how we got there?
It is, Your Honor. My client owes those fees. He informs me he does not have the ability to pay, but I've told him that he owes them and he has to pay them.
All right. So you're making efforts to get him to pay it. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark, what relief would you be seeking in the motion to compel that payment?
I'm going to be, and Judge, this is my issue. Mr. Laney has money to travel all over the country and go to prize fights that he says he's fighting.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's going to what? Because I'll just say that sounds like my ex-husband a little bit. You have all this money to travel all over, and it's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, what are prize fights? What did Ed say to Mikey? Ed, what did you say? I gotta go back and read. Cretans? Thanks for that one. Well, that's funny. What's firstly funny is that you thought either were famous. No, seriously, they both have way bigger channels than I do. So what am I talking about? Shut up, Paisley. Okay.
Has money to spend on the woman up near wherever it is. I mean, I don't know why he can't go ahead and make the payments.
Okay, well, here's the thing though, because making payments to you doesn't get him a blowjob. But making payments to the woman or buying her Temu cart or buying her whatever she wants for her birthday, that would get you a lot of things, wouldn't it? Always get you lots of things, you know?
So in that motion, Judge, we're asking for our attorney's fees and having to file the motion to compel him to do it. And we're asking for a definite date that we're going to have the money in our office. That you gave him very specific dates. And you broke it up into 5 payments, $1,000 each every 2 weeks. Have not gotten one single payment. So it's up to the court, Judge, how you want to structure that with them. But I can't really move forward without getting payment. Mr. Haygood's been paid in full. And part of my motion to compel discovery is that they are suspended from conducting discovery until first they comply, and then second, they give us the interim fees, because it's not fair for us to be having to run around doing all this if they have the money to do it and they're not complying with the rules.
So Mr. Haygood, what I hear him saying, he's seeking escalating sanctions under 215. What's your response to that? I do remember, and let me say, I now remember that the order I entered was specific based on the testimony at the hearing of his ability to pay. So it wasn't like I just threw a number out there and said, pay it when you can. I evaluated.
Oh, Sashina, first of all, none of us are very good company. We all are putting up with each other and we love each other for it, but don't worry, honey. Don't worry about that. That's okay. You're allowed to be ornery here. The only thing you don't do is talk in Creed's voice or gamble. Wait, Mike, you missed something. You don't Creed frame. Usually. That's something you don't do that he does. Also, rush through shows.
Evaluated the expenses he had, the other orders of the court, and his income, and I entered that order.
And I do agree with you on that, Your Honor. Your order was very specific, and I understood at the time why you entered the order. I do disagree with Mr. Clark, his interjections that my client is traveling, going to prize fights, or has a girlfriend that he is spending money on. There's no evidence of any of that. I understand the court has the ability to enforce its own judgments. Again, I have expressed to my client that money is owed and needs to be paid, and I can only report to the court what I am hearing from my client.
And Judge, I'm basing that off the testimony.
Is this really the danger when you have a girlfriend before your wife is your ex-wife? Because it sounds like he has to decide where to spend his money. Also, Mikey, we know if it is created, that you created it. Maybe, actually, that's maybe not true. Maybe I know that because I know you as a creator, but some people wouldn't know that. That's hard to explain to some people. It's like it's hard to explain to some people that this is a real job. They're like there are like 5 people in the living room in there that think I am talking to nobody right now, legitimately. So some nights I can go and be like, well, guess what? And tonight I can say, well, I swear there were people there.
At the last hearing, we had come down, and this is the case that made the YouTube deal. But when he had taken the truck and the dog, and he had given the truck to some woman up near, I think it was up near Amarillo or somewhere, but we had pictures of her driving the truck.
I remember.
And you ordered him, Judge, also, and I'll just throw this out there while we're all here. You ordered him to communicate entirely on Our Family Wizard. Since that time,
Hashtag not a sponsor yet, but again, call me. I have some great ideas, Our Family Wizard.
We have almost just as many text messages and phone calls from Mr. Laney to my client and her mother but we now have 1,100 Our Family Wizard messages from him to my client.
Your Honor, I'm going to object that this is outside the scope of the motions we're here on today.
I understand, but I'm saying, Judge, that's how I know that he's telling her I'm going to enter a fight up in Colorado. I'm doing it in New Mexico. I'm doing it. So we just want compliance, Judge.
And I'm reviewing your motion you're not seeking contempt in the motion at this as it's filed now, right?
I am not, Your Honor. I'm seeking enforcement.
Well, Mr. Haygood, under the circumstances, what are you suggesting that I do here?
Give him a date certain that it has to be paid off in a lump sum instead of in installments, Your Honor.
And that's fine with us, Judge. I just would rather have it be sometime in the next month, and I'd rather all of their discovery requests be suspended until it's paid. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to, are y'all satisfied for me to consider this now, or do you want to put on evidence, further evidence in support of this? I'm taking what each of you has told me as a proffer on the motion.
Judge, my assistant just brought me in the motion. Okay, wait, that's taking up the payment of interim fees, Judge. You heard September 19th of 2023, the temporary orders. And the order says that he's to pay it in $1,000 installments on the dates of October 6th, October 20th, November 3rd, November 17th, and December 1st.
Mikey, it's Kimmy's birthday. And it's both of them, but it's Kimmy's birthday. I already sang terribly. But I already sang to Kimmy earlier. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Kimmy.
And those are the 5 payments, not one of which has been made. I'm fine with you taking it up right now, Judge. That's not an issue.
Mr. Haygood?
Yes, that's fine, Judge.
All right. Mr. Clark, I don't see, you've asked for additional fees, but I don't see an affidavit. Were you intending to testify in support of that request?
I was, Judge.
All right. You're an officer of the court. You may testify as such. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I don't know if we have a stipulation on qualifications or not, but I'm licensed by the Supreme Court of Texas. I'm in good standing. I have been at all times since the institution of this matter. I'm also board certified in the area of family law and have been for going on 16, 20 years. I'm not really sure how long, Judge. I've been retained by Ms. Laney at the rate of $450 an hour to represent her in this.
I forgot. So in Texas family law, there's this weird part where the lawyers have to sort of justify their rates. Wow. $450 an hour, did he just say? With a straight fucking face? Did he say it with a straight face? He did, I think. Oh, sir. Oh, I know, but saying it without with a straight face it's bold. It's bold, you know? I charge a lot an hour too, but I usually have a bit of a smile on my face when I'm talking about it, you know? But let's see. Let's see what he said.
16, 20 years. I'm not really sure how long, Judge. I've been retained by Ms. Laney at the rate of $450 an hour to represent her in this divorce matter. My ability to represent her has been hampered by the respondent's lack of following your order. And that's why we had to bring this. I made several requests of Mr. Haygood to have him make the payments. Those requests were by email and by text message. Never got a reply back. And so that's what made the necessity of filing and serving this motion and setting it for a hearing, made it necessary to do that, Judge. This is our second setting on the matter. Mr. Haygood had a conflict on the 1st, and he notified us on Friday that he had a conflict today, but yet he's here. So, Judge, in preparation of this motion, the attempts made in trying to get everything done, I'd say I probably have 2.5 hours of time, Judge. So that would be $1,125 in just trying to get compliance with this motion, Judge. And I think that $1,125 is both reasonable and necessary. And we would request the court for a sanction in that amount against Mr. Laney for his failure to comply with a very, very specific order that there's no ambiguity with whatsoever.
All right. Do you pass yourself for cross?
I pass myself, Your Honor, yes.
All right, Mr. Haygood, questions?
No questions, Judge.
All right. All right, Mr. Haygood, you've heard his presentation. Your turn.
Are we on the motion to compel the payment of fees only, or are we addressing other matters?
Right now, just the motion to compel fees.
Oh my gosh, is that a fucking reasonable shopping trip? I would freak out. Right now, if my shopping cart on Temu was bought, oh, that would be like what, $400 Canadian? And of course, there's things in there I don't really need or want. I just like put it in there, but like $400 Canadian, you know? You know what I'm saying? I know sideways is a good angle with my boobs, especially if I get them like this. Um, yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. As stated.
Oh, so yeah, $1,000 is like over the top. I mean, $400 is over the top. I would find that crazy, but it would still be like $400 Canadian is not 50 American. If it was, I wish I'd be yeah, I wish. Let's just say that. I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish. Also, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Canadian money is like monopoly money, that is true. But it also works. Loud Elvis is here. Welcome, Loud. Um, Miss Carrie, I feel for you, by the way. I just want to say, uh, the time that I got my identity stolen. Hold on, I dropped the joint. Ow, that's on fire. Hold on. That's good. I got it. But, oh, oops. I have a black corset that doesn't fit anymore. Makes me sad. I should add one of those. My brain was literally like, I bet Timu has one of those. Anyways, Miss Carrie, I had my identity stolen one time. They impersonated me. I'm always a little stoned. But they went into a bank. They impersonated me. They took all my money. They fucking took it away. They then closed all my bank accounts, opened new bank accounts in my names, and then they took all the money out of there. Then they put it all they did everything. They did everything they possibly could. Everything they could. The key factor is to admit nothing to the bank. You just say, I don't know. 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 That's your job. I don't know. And you just stick with that. Even if you have an idea, you don't know. You just remember that. You don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I don't know is the words you say. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Do you see how many ways you can say that? I don't know. You're asking me that? I don't know. Anyways. And then the last thing you have to do, like in Canada, what I ended up having to do is go to the bank and throw a hissy fit. I used my Karen privilege. Had to. I walked into the bank and then I literally threw a hissy fit in the lobby until they gave me my money. I did get my money, but the tip I've learned is that you should have two separate banks, totally different. Totally different. So now I have two different banking systems and I have half my money in one, half my no money in one, and half my no money in the other. And that helps when my no money gets stolen. But back in the day, I used to have money and then I would keep half the money in each. In fact, for a long time, I had my fucking money and I wouldn't take it to a bank. I was like, you bitches lost my money last time. You lost it. I gave you all the tools not to do that and you fucking gave it away. So why the fuck would I give you my fucking money again? It took me a long time to learn back that trust. Anyways, again, also don't have a lot of money now. So the one thing I remember going to the bank and I explained to the bank teller about what had happened. I said, somebody impersonated me. They came into the bank, a different bank, and they fucking took all my money. It's terrible. She was like, that is terrible. I said, well, what can you do to help me be safe? And one bank I went to, they're like, well, nothing. And I was like, well, that's fucking terrible. I'm not going to open a bank account here, am I? And they're like, okay. And I was like, good to know. Bye-bye. And then the second bank I went to, they were like, oh, well, let's put a password on your account. I was like, what does a password do? They're like, well, if somebody doesn't have the password, then they can't get into the account. Even if they have your ID, even if they have everything else, if they don't know this word that you set up, they can't get in. I was like, that is what I want to do. And then for a long time I tested it. I would go into the bank and like go up to the teller and every time they would get this like sort of upset, worried face because a big deal would come across the screen and say things like Jim Huntsman gifted 5 memberships. Ah, Jim, give me a birthday gift. Yay! No, but seriously, it wouldn't come across the screen and say Jim Huntsman gave a gift, but it would come across the screen and say password required, all like really serious. And they would always say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I have to ask you for this. I'm like, bitch, don't be sorry. Somebody stole my fucking identity. I want you to ask everybody about this. That's what we need. I want you enforcing this rule. Like, to me, I was just like, God, why do I need to come in here and reinforce and train these girls to be like on it about my fucking password? Stop me helping people steal my money. Anyways, it doesn't work like that quite so much in here, Loud. The money is insured. We have CDIC deposit insurance for if your bank fails. But what they don't have is the bank takes fault or finds fault with you if you say if you go for instance into the branch and you say, "Oh my God, all my money's gone, but my debit card's in my purse." And they say, "Okay, hold on, let me take a look." And they put your debit card in and they pull it up and they say, "Oh, I see here. Yes, it looks like all your money's been taken at these different places. Have you ever given anybody your password?" And literally, in your haste, you say, "No, I mean, one time I gave my cousin my password to go to the bank or go to the store, but that was a long time ago." And then you're like, "So no, nobody, no." Like here, a bank would be like, the teller, I used to be a teller, was trained to listen for that kind of stuff and then would find fault with you and you wouldn't get your money back, even though it wasn't your fucking fault. It wasn't your cousin. It wasn't you that actually shared your PIN code. It was indeed either a phishing scam or a uh, sort of one of those card skimmers. But the bank takes any reason not to give you your money back. That's why I said the mantra is I don't know. And you just keep saying that all day long. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Convilius is here. Welcome, 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 welcome. No, no, no. Perfect, 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 perfect. That is good work. And my ex-husband got scammed one time back in the day on the internet, clicked a link, all the money was gone within minutes, but they stupidly e-transferred themselves. I know you guys don't have e-transfers in America. You have like Zelle, or what is it called? Like Cash App. I've heard of that. I don't have that. But we have, all the banks are connected with something called Interac. And so but so it's so easy to like trace it, and all the banks are required to give that info. So like that's the thing. If somebody is stupid enough to e-transfer themselves all your money, you're going to quickly be able to tell who it is. It's not anonymous. And they've signed an agreement somewhere deep in all the pages of terms and conditions that doesn't allow that, you know?
I have informed my client about the court's order, the payment schedule. The only thing my client has told me is that he has not had the funds to be able to do so. If the court will give him a date certain to make it off in a lump sum payment, I will tell him he's got to raise those funds through whatever means he can.
All right. All right, thank you both. I'm going to grant the motion to compel. I am noting for the record that all of those dates for every interim payment has passed. And I want to find that no payments towards the court's specific order have been made by the respondent to the motion. I'm going to give him until March the 1st to pay that amount in full. I am ordering him to make a payment of $1,000 by February the 16th. That is a week from tomorrow. The balance will be paid on March the 1st. I am going to suspend discovery by Mr. Laney until this amount is paid, which I anticipate will be March the 1st. I am ordering an additional amount of fees to be paid in the amount of $1,125, and I will give him until March the 15th to make that additional payment. And although it need not be in the order, I want to mention, just to empower you, Mr. Haygood, when in conferring with your client, to let you know that he is subject to escalating sanctions under 215 if he violates these orders. Mr. Clark could also seek contempt. Of course, he would have defenses to that if he wished to make those. But he is putting his case at risk by ignoring the court's prior orders. And I'm not admonishing you. I am simply stating it for the record so that you can relay that information as coming from me rather than coming from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Check one more thing before we move on to the next issue. All right, that's going to be my ruling. I'm rendering that at this time. Mr. Clark, reduce that to writing if you'd be so kind. Get it to my office. I will sign it.
I will, Judge.
All right. Okay, let me ask you on the quash. Both of y'all are experienced lawyers. You know how to do this stuff. Did y'all have a chance to confer on setting up these things, deposition dates, etc.?
Absolutely no attempt was made whatsoever to work with me on any dates. I just got the notice of deposition straight out of the blue.
I disagree with that, Your Honor. I had asked Mr. Clark for dates, and he told me he was incredulous that I would even ask for dates, so I just picked one.
That is correct, Judge. Because I told him
I'm happy to, if he has something on that date.
Judge, I will be in Oklahoma City that date for a matter that afternoon, but I said I was incredulous that he's trying to take a deposition when they have not answered discovery for 3 months, have not paid anything. And then I never heard anything back from him, Judge.
All right.
And on that, Your Honor, I did not.
By Jonathan Hart. The Jonathan that has our heart. And he's always here. Thank you, Jonathan. Love you.
Receive the discovery when it was first sent to me. It went to the spam folder of my fax machine email. And so whenever Mr. Clark mentioned that the discovery was out there, I went and I found it, and we have since answered that discovery.
All right. So, Mr. Clark, if you feel their answers are inadequate, you've got to file a motion to compel and bring it to my attention. And y'all have to diligently discuss and attempt to resolve those disputes. So
Judge,
I'm going to encourage y'all to communicate more effectively. Set a time, have a conference, do it by Zoom or face to face, and try to knock some of these issues out. There's enough hostility between the parties that we need the lawyers to rise above that and work together to get this to me so I can get these two separated.
Judge, if I may, on that issue.
Yes.
As of now, I've gotten 0 documents from them on the motion, on the request for production, 0. Mr. Haygood sent me something late last night that we can't even open because it's password protected. But I made numerous, and I wasn't prepared to go forward this morning because he filed a motion saying he was in trial today. But I can tell the court I've made numerous requests by text message and email to Mr. Haygood. It is impossible to get the gentleman on the telephone. He never answers. I had my first phone call with him, I think last week for the first time in months. But Judge, that's what's made it necessary. There's no communication on anything. And it's not from a lack of me being in my office, sitting at my desk and being available.
All right.
And
are y'all going to be able to get together?
We
Go
were
ahead, Mr.
communicating by email just last night. I have the password to the documents I sent Mr. Clark that was given to me this morning, and I will provide it to him as soon as I'm done with my hearings in Judge Billingsley's court.
But Judge, I guess if we can reset that matter, I already have the motion on file. I'll just amend it to list out all the other matters and all the non-responsive answers to discovery, and we can take it up whenever. If you might be able to give us a date on that, Judge.
So my suggestion before you
I'll have the
amend
discovery
is
fully answered by then.
all right. So that's what I was going to suggest. Do your conference, which you're required to do before you file. Spend the time filing that motion. Go through them one at a time. Talk about what you've got. I would find out at that hearing whether Mr. Haygood is withholding documents or whether he's doing the best he can with what he's given from his client. I don't know that, and y'all need to have that discussion. So I want you to have your conference. Once you've had a real conference, contact the coordinator and let her know whether you still need a hearing on that motion to compel. You're required by rule to have that conference before you get a hearing, and I hold people to it. So I want y'all to do it. And let's get through this discovery mess.
So, Judge, we that's what we were attempting, was to have it. I will contact Mr. Haygood next week on that matter. I'll send him several emails with some specific dates and times to have a conference on that matter. And that's all I can do is reach out on my end. I don't think, and I'll say, Judge, I don't think Mr. Haygood's withholding any documents. I just don't think his client cares whether he cooperates or not.
Mr. Haygood can only work with what he's got. And, that's why I'm here, to
I
try
understand.
to compel that information from him to his lawyer. So I understand the situation that we're in. That's where I'm going to leave that issue, is y'all have to confer, have a real conference, guys, get through this, figure out what needs to be turned over, turn it over if you can get it. If not, come to me and I'll deal with it under Rule 215. The quash automatically stops the deposition, but I'm going to agree there's not going to be depositions until I'm through resolving this discovery issue, because I don't want y'all trying to
I agree,
do it
Judge.
twice. So I'm going to
Consider
grant the motion to
the
quash for
deposition
now.
notice withdrawn.
Okay, then in that I'll withdraw my statement. If it's withdrawn, I'm not going to grant the quash. It is moot. And
Yes,
Judge,
so,
I just asked Mr. Haygood to please send us written notification that he's withdrawing the deposition.
well, he's done it on the record, and I'm going to note for the
Easy
record that
peasy,
it
Judge.
is
Happy to do it.
withdrawn.
Very good.
I believe that resolves the issues for now that are before me. So I know this case has been a bit of a struggle. Let's try to get it done and get it off of both y'all's plates and out of their lives as well.
Now, Judge, I'll throw something out here if I might. If you want to go ahead and set us for final trial, Judge, I'm happy to do that.
Well, I've got to set for mediation first. That's my local policy. So I didn't want to do that until the discovery issues were resolved. Mediation's always more successful when everyone actually has the information they need. So
Agreed.
that's where we are right
Thank you,
now.
Judge.
I want to know discovery's done, the issues are resolved, no more issues on that, and then I'm going to send you to mediation quickly.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
We're off the record. Thank you both. Mr. Haygood, thanks for being here. You are excused if that's your only case.
Peace out, A-Town. Listen, guys, I know that was a bit of a short one tonight, but the reality is that I have a few other things to do, and then we have to get ready for our special event tomorrow night. You are invited to hang out with me and Mikey at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know exactly what we'll be watching or reacting to yet, but it'll be good. You know that. Thank you so much for all of your support. It is so helpful and humbling. I really appreciate it. If you would be so kind, please make sure that you have put your chair in and hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate that immensely. I will post the link to the video probably late tonight so that we can all hang out in the lobby ahead of time. You know how it is. You want to get to an event early. So come hang out in the lobby. We'll chat and then we'll have a great night. Remember, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Also, reminder, if you have any burning questions you want me to ask the celebrity, Mikey the Legend, let me know. We'll do it.